All right, University of Texas. This is going to be a big one. This is a really talented defense, talented football team. They have personnel. You can see the talent that they have and the speed that they have and the way that they move around on the field. They don't do anything too crazy scheme-wise. They are typically just a 4-down, 4-3 football team. At times, they will stem down into a 5-down where they walk another backer up on the line to make it 5-down. And you see a lot of man coverage behind that. They're going to bring zone pressures. They're going to play man. You'll be able to see that they trust these 4 guys up front to create pressure. And like the clip you're seeing right here, which is a zone pressure, they're going to drop out this end. You do that when you trust the athleticism of this guy to sink into space and play a zone coverage. So here I just kind of want to talk about, as I watch the tape, you see some themes. In their zone coverages, you see a theme of zone pressures. And so what that means is you're going to see the 4-down line. It's going to be a simulated pressure. They're going to bring the will backer. Like I said, they're going to drop the defensive end. And then what that does is now safeties, they're going to roll weak. This would be considered the offense's strength. To this side of the field, down here to the boundary, is the weak side. So what they're doing is they are rotating into cover 3 weak. So they're going to get a rotation there. He's going to come down. Both of these corners go to deep thirds. And then what you're going to see is you're going to see the pressure off the edge right here. It becomes a 4-man pressure. And then they're going to sink here, and you get 3 deep, 4 under. So this is why it's a simulated pressure. It looks like they're bringing 5, which would make it 3 deep, 3 under, but it's just 3 deep, 4 under. It's another way to get to it. You see this happen a lot. Now, as I said, these guys are pretty good up front. These guys in here are pretty talented. They get pressure on quarterbacks in just their bringing 4. And then they're going to drop out into zone. One thing you're going to see is you're going to see it like in this Houston game, they were making this quarterback play on the move a lot. They were getting to him. They were making him throw on the run a lot. And in their zone coverages and man coverages, a lot of contested balls. A lot of balls being thrown with somebody right close. Now, first play of the game, it was actually a quarters coverage, and they were actually able to get a shot over the top. When they do play quarters, which means they're 4 across, they always have one of the sides that's a little bit more aggressive to run fakes, aggressive to movements, and then so you'll get opportunities in their quarters coverage to get shots over the top. But in watching some of the tape, this is the most athletic defense that we've played so far this year. All right, here we go, man coverage. You're going to get a heavy dose of man coverage in this game. You can expect that, like I said, with the athleticism of the guys that they have, and I'm sure that the way that they trust some of the matchups. But what you're getting right here, you can see the man looks. Locked up man, locked up man. This is the guy running with the running back. Locked up man, locked up man. We've seen this before where the outside guys are pressed, inside guys are a little bit softer, outside guy pressed. And then what you're going to get is you're going to get what looks like a 5-man pressure, and then they are going to drop out. Now, there's different reasons. This is the player dropping out. It could be to the side of the free release back. It could be to the field. They have all these different reasons of why whoever it is that drops out does drop out. In this case, it's your field end man on the line of scrimmage. He's going to drop out, and he becomes this rat player in the middle of the field. As you can see, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes. Wherever the quarterback's eyes take him, that's where he's going to flow. Now, they're trying to run this little shallow route. As you can see, they have these vertical routes. They're bringing a shallow underneath. This quarterback's having to wait because he's open right now. He's got space. But because of this rat player, the ball can't be thrown right now. Watch what happens. In the time that it takes to throw around the rat player, the defender makes up the space. Now, it's a poorly thrown ball. It's behind him. But you can see the importance of getting the ball on the receiver early when there is separation. If you can't do that because of a rat player, you better make sure you throw a ball that takes him into space and doesn't leave it behind him. But we are going to see, I believe, a lot of looks like this. Teams have had success running man coverage against us. They get after the quarterback when they do that. And at times we don't complete as a higher percentage of footballs. So I would assume, after watching some of the tape of Texas and knowing the last handful of games for us, I would expect doses of man coverage all throughout the game. All right, I said it in the first video. This team has athleticism. You can see the talent level of the guys on their team. They get to the football well. It's similar to TCU getting to the football, but they do it with bigger guys. So to me, that is when you see the size, the weight, and the muscle and the speed all going together. Obviously, Texas being a top program these last few years, they're going to pull some top recruits. A lot of those guys will be out on the field, so it's going to be a challenge for BYU, of course, in here in the box. Now, I don't understand. To me, it looks like they're trying to sell a counter scheme. And what they're anticipating is that they're going to step down hard and then they're going to flow hard when they get the counter read. And so we'll try to toss it away. Now, this guy is not going to bite that hard on this fake counter. So they have a player that's there for him. That would be the one-on-one. But as you can see, all these bodies that are running right here, these guys did not bite at all this counter action by the offense. Now, again, you can tell they are flying to the football. You can see the aggressiveness of the safety coming into the screen right here. I think that these guys are going to try to make an impact with speed and athleticism. And the defensive coordinator is going to make calls where he trusts that against us. I think you see a lot of that early. That's why I anticipate a lot of man coverage early, is especially if them getting into man coverage puts BYU into 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, which unfortunately that's what BYU has been in a lot. I think that's what we're going to see a lot on first down, unless there's a penalty on first down where we're backed up. Maybe they do something different, but they're going to try to create those 3rd and longs, and I think they're going to do it in man coverage.
All right. For the final one of this just quick 4 plays, I want to talk about this little empty look right here and what defense they're going to give. So what they're going to do is they're going to show you this quarters look. And at first glance, you see the shell. But as you get into it, you're going to start to see some things. The thing I want you to notice is that there still is a rotation, all right? This safety is going to rotate down, and he is going to be playing this wing tight end in man-to-man coverage. This is also going to be man-to-man coverage here. Now, he may play soft, but even with a little bit of free access, he does have that receiver one-on-one man coverage. Now, what you're getting over here, this is a triangle over these 2 receivers right here. So I'm going to break down that triangle a little bit. What's happening is he is looking for an in-breaking receiver. He is looking for an out-breaking receiver. He's playing hi-hat over the top. But when you get variations where they have 2 guys in or 2 guys out, it's going to play out differently. So if you watch what happens, you can see his eyes. He's looking, I'm going to take this off. He's looking inside, or he's looking out towards these receivers looking for any in-breaker. You can see how his eyes are inside. He's watching the grouping, the pairing. So what happens is when he gets vertical here and then he fills this under route, he is going to have eyes inside on what appears to be an in-breaker. So when he goes in, what you can't see now is that as this player goes in, the safety that was the hi-hat safety, he is going to take him on the other in-breaker. So I'm going to go back to the beginning. If you get 2 ins, in, what's going to happen is he's going to jump the first one, he'll take the second one, and then this defender will trace back and end up playing in this spot here, okay, which ends up being like a deep third player. So if you watch the rotation, he's going to come and rotate down. He's going to be manned up here. That's who he's eyeing. Now, because that player gets out late into the flat, he's just kind of hovering right here. So I probably shouldn't even call it man because it's not really a true man look. It's more of a zone, but he recognizes that if that ball goes to the flat, he's going to have to jump it right now. Whatever this player runs up here at receiver, the corner is going to take him as if it's a man, like we'll call it match. Match is a better term for it because if you look at the pressure that you're getting right here, watch this pressure. You're getting these 4, and then you're going to get a dropper right here. So it's simulated. And you see this zone dropper. I believe that what he's doing, I believe he's spying the quarterback. I believe he's spying the quarterback for any type of draw or quarterback scramble up the middle because it's empty. They don't want to give up a quarterback draw. So, like, to me, it's zone match principles that as the play plays out, it ends up looking like he's going to be taking him like it's man coverage. There's going to be a safety on him like it's man coverage. Where you see the zone element is like this. There's a deep third quarter or corner that's just backed up there. So there's where there are some zone principles. Again, like across the board, This is not a everybody's manned up, and this is not a everybody's zoned up. That's why I like to use the word match principles here. So it's simulated pressure, a spy. Now it's blocked poorly. Quarterback has to scramble. Probably what's happening here is his offensive line is accounting for the 4 down in this backer, which means if that linebacker comes, we're hot. That's what happens right here, and that's why he goes in unblocked. Now, going back to kind of what happens here, you see this a lot in the Houston game. I know I'm showing plays from the first quarter, a lot of quarterback movement, quarterback scrambles, but I just wanted to talk about this coverage, okay? Because the elements of this triangle, this is a big part of what you're going to see when you get in these 3x1 or empty looks. You see this corner, straight zone drop, but you're getting actually more match principles to this side of the field. So again, these are some of the elements that you're going to see from the University of Texas on Saturday. I'm going to try to break down some more plays tomorrow as well and just kind of shoot them out in groupings of 4. But from this, we can see the athleticism, the zone pressures, and also the trust they have in playing man coverage behind their simulated pressures or regular pressures.